Hey.
Hey,
You know, it's funny. I'm used to hearing people tell me, "Oh, I love your voice," and I'll be always like, "Well, this is just the way I sound." Until I heard your voice, I'm like, "Yo, I love her voice."
yo, and let me tell you something. When I seen that you was from Jersey, I was like,
Are you from Jersey?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh,
So,
okay, okay, okay.
but we here, we next door neighbors.
Yeah, we right there. We right there. East Coast love.
Right, we are next door neighbors. I always love interviewing my up north girls because I live in Atlanta and I see some history that you don't live in Atlanta no more. You're in LA, correct?
Yes, I'm in LA.
Right. So I seen the history of you in Atlanta. So I'm over here like, I always be interviewing these down south girls. So when I see somebody from Jersey, from up there, I get excited. But thank you so much. I love your voice
Yes,
as well.
thank you. I appreciate it.
So no further ado, everyone, I am Shenelle Simone, your favorite host, your favorite media babe, your favorite everything. I am here with Media Girls Network, interviewing the one and only Shyneika Taylor. How are you today?
I'm doing good. The sun is shining. It's not raining. It's LA. I'm trying to not catch COVID, so I've been in this box all day long. But
Yo,
yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. Yo, COVID been a little crazy right now. We've been hiding a little bit.
Down and out, yo. COVID's have been acting up, and I'm like, yo, I do not need to be taken under. So.
You,
Because I've caught
especially,
COVID like before. And I'm gonna tell you, like I'm such a ambitious person. Like I need my energy, dog. Like I need to be able to thrive with my energy. When I tell you the level of fatigue, I felt like I was going to die. Like that's what it was. I was like, yo, I never can catch this again. I don't care. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I'm sorry. Well, you can't do nothing. All right. So not only am I gonna, you're gonna be put like you can't go to work. So now
hmm
you cut my check. I can't secure the bag. And you nah.
Yeah, if y'all caught the COVID bug, I had caught it before too. And at first, I was like, you thought you was tripping. Like, am I tripping? Until those symptoms catch up after. Hey, Marcus, so if you caught the COVID bug, please leave the comments below. Tell me how you're feeling. Let us know. Interact with us. Talk to us. We are here for you all. And also get to know Shyneika Taylor. So let's talk about your journey. Right now, go ahead and tell the viewers who you are, who your mama then, what you do. Let's get an insight of who you are.
Well, my name is Shyneika Taylor, like she said. Y'all can just call me Shy. My day ones call me Nika. Um, who I am, honestly, I'm just a regular homegirl around the way, to be completely honest. I did grow up with a very conservative background, very religious, Seventh-day Adventist. Probably stands to a lot of my morals that I still hold to this day. Um, but other than that, I'm just here to give people vibes and make people smile, to be completely honest. I started in this game because I don't want to be cliche because everybody's like, yo, I want to be the voice of the voiceless, but it's deeper than that. I actually want to actually move in that manner. It's not just about jumping on cameras and holding microphones. Like, I really am inspired to help the impoverished community. So if you came up through some type of struggle, you already know what type of time it is. You already understand how hard it can get. And the disadvantages being in that community and the lack of resources and opportunities that you have in that community, you just don't have a fair chance at this game called life. So I really kind of just walk by faith, not by sight. And that's what I just would like to do, just to inspire the impoverished community that, look, you do not got to be a product of your circumstances. And just because these are the cards you were given, that doesn't mean this has to be your end result. You can put in the work, you treat people well, and
Right.
God will propel you. And that's just how I live my life. Like, I just want to be able to be a vessel for God and to make sure that everybody knows that this is his life. And that's just is what it is. Using my instrument to praise God.
And first of all, thank you. So humble. So, like, when I tell you I share the same values as well, I'm, like I said, I'm a Brooklyn chick from around the way. What's good? I'm in your face. I'm everything like that. So when I tell you I'm sitting here listening to you, like everything she's saying, it's like the same values I do as well. So it's so
Yeah.
great to have a fresher breath air, to have someone like you pretty much say, look, it is what it is. This is
Yeah, that's just what it is. It is what it is. I ain't here to do the most. I ain't here to look. I'm just being who I am and who God called me to be completely honest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might joke around. Of course, you know, I crack jokes here and there because that's just how we are as a people. But at the end of the day, like, when it comes down to summing it all up, you know, the reason why I decided to do what I'm doing is because I wanted to implement and create change. I wanted people that came from the same type of background, had the same type of disadvantages to understand that, you know, just because you started this way don't mean you got to finish this way. You can still make your mark on the world, still walk in your purpose, still in your light, and impact the world before you actually leave. So that's just what I'm just trying to do. Before the good Lord calls me home, I'm just trying to do what he's called me to do.
Amen. Yo, y'all give some virtual applause for that, because that is some real.
Not virtual applause. Who made that up?
Give me some virtual applause in the comments for me. I'm over here like, y'all, we got the fire. Give me everything. So, Shy or your day one's Nika, either way, how you go. Talk about your background, from conservative background. How did you know this was your calling? This was your passion? Talk about your upbringing and how did you get just the introduction into media?
Well, you know what's funny? I think a lot of times this is how you know it's like your passion or it's like a gift of yours, because you don't realize that you're doing it when you're doing it. So it was 5 years ago that I decided I wanted to have my own talk show. It's only 5 years ago. Before that, I've done a lot of things just like in the church, like morning announcements, you know, being in kindergarten and the teacher always writing on your progress report. She's hindering students from their learning because she talks too much. Like, I didn't realize that this was something I really wanted to do. Like, I was trying to be the president of the United States of America. Like, before all of this, I was into politics and, again, creating, implementing change for my people. But then when I started like working in politics, I realized y'all ain't really for the people. And my mouth is way too big. I'm gonna end up getting assassinated up in here. So let me just so seriously. So, you know, I was at the age of 21, fresh out of college, doing this canvassing, doing this campaign for the Democratic Party. And the hours were like extreme. It was like, yo, you got to be up on the road by 4 a.m. And I wasn't getting home till like maybe 11 p.m. And I was doing it day in, day out. And I didn't feel the love. So although, yeah, I love to try to help people, and I wanted to, you know, do politics and do government, all of that stuff, and work my way all the way to be the president of the United States of America. Not saying I can't be the president of the United States of America. I'm just saying it's not my focal point anymore. I realized, I was like, yo, you don't really got the love for this. And one thing about me, if there ain't no love in it, it don't drive me. You know what I mean? As long as, honestly, everything that I do out of love. So I was just sitting down. I was just like, yeah, God, this ain't it. And it's crazy because it was like literally 6 months after I graduated. So I just spent all that money for my bachelor's degree, sitting down, just like, yeah, this ain't it. And I remember
you did criminal justice too.
Yeah, criminal justice. Yeah. So I knew somewhere, some down the line, I was going to be implementing some type of change. You know what I'm saying? And I remember just sitting down thinking to myself, like, yeah, we can't do this. So it just randomly popped in my head. I was like, you know what? Atlanta got a lot of Black people. Those Black people are moving and they're entrepreneurs, and they have like a mentality that I kind of have. Not only that, I just freshly graduated from HBCU. So I was already like, I wanted to be in a community with my people and still continue that on. So I was just like, yo, just drive to Atlanta and just figure it out. And to be honest, that's exactly what I did. I took whatever money I had left. I made a decision within a week. My parents thought I was crazy. I did. And I knew that I was like, yo, it's something on the other side. So I just drove to Atlanta. And eventually I picked up the microphone and I haven't put it down since. But it's funny when you start asking about like your start, because then I started, like when I tell this story, I be thinking, I just be like, technically that's not true. Technically I started coming out the womb because I've always had a microphone in my hand. Again, whether it was morning announcements, you know, talking in church. Listen, my church was just such a youthful church. I would like be preaching like we had youth day. So I would preach on a pulpit at like 8 years old. So I never was uncomfortable to get in front of people and talk. I remember going to like a youth retreat and we had this thing, instead of 106 in Park, we called it 106 in Camp, and we played gospel music videos. But I was the host of that. In the back of the bus, in the back of the late bus. It was called Speak Your Mind. I was the host. I was creating shows before I even thought that I was going to end up in entertainment. And that's how I know that this is the purpose. Because when I decided to do that, not only did I love it, I looked back on my life and I said, you've been doing this all along. This is something natural. This ain't nothing forced. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yeah, God, this is what we're doing, and we're going to do it all the way.
And first of all, I hear that, I ain't going to call it preacher mentality, but girl, you was about to make me get my tambourine and shout at this damn camera. And
you funny.
And yeah, and you would think, just like I could tell, like in the church background, because look how you speak. It's like it's even though for granted it's us, I feel like you're talking to like a whole like
congregation.
I'm over here like preach. I'm over here
okay.
Like definitely. So that moment.
Do you want to revelate? Sorry, now let me stop. Go ahead.
That moment where you came to Atlanta. So we hear the stories of people coming to Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta's the saving grace and things like that. At what moment did you have in your head, like, you know what? I'm going to Atlanta. I know you said your parents thought you was crazy, but in your head, why Atlanta?
Well, again, I saw a different type of mentality when it came down to Black people down there. So I was able to observe certain cities. So I already was from Jersey. So of course I looked to New York. You know what I'm saying? You know, of course I looked to LA, you know, but when I saw how Black people was moving in Atlanta, I said, there's something special down there. Okay. You got to tap into that. You know what I mean? There was a lot of people becoming entrepreneurs. But see, this is the thing. And this is what I want to make clear. It don't matter where I was going to go. It was going to happen anyway, because your mind must arrive at the destination before your life does. My mentality, it was already made up. So that's why it's not the city that makes you, it's the person, it's the individual. I just needed to get down there for a resource. And that's what happened. I went down there, took my mind and started picking up on certain resources, and it was able to enable me to elevate and propel myself. You get what I'm saying? But if I went down there with a different mentality, oh, I just want to, be like the Joneses, and I want to just party, and I just want to post up on social media and do everything for clickbait, I would have never started moving. I was focused when I went to Atlanta. I really was. Day in and day out, I never took my mind off my goal. You get what I'm saying? So I came to Atlanta, and, unfortunately, it's funny because I used to cheer. So I had tried out for the Atlanta Falcons. Didn't work. I was already devastated. I'm a very competitive person too. That's another thing. So when I lose, I make it seem like the end of the world is coming. Like I'm flat out on the floor.
Wait, what's your sign? What you, a Taurus sign?
No, I'm a Leo.
You.
I don't think I like your face when I said I'm a Leo. I don't think I like it.
No. It was like okay. I see it, girl. You got that lion in you. That competitiveness. See, I thought you was a Taurus because I'm the same way. But
yeah.
You Leo. I'll give you Leo in that one. So you tried out for the Atlanta Falcons. What was your first gig? You said you picked up the mic, haven't dropped it since. What was your first gig when you came to Atlanta?
Myself was my first gig. All right. So in the entertainment industry, technically, in the entertainment realm, my first gig was at Tyler Perry Studios. Because what happened is they were shooting Love Thy Neighbor. And and I just remember, this is when I first got to Atlanta. I was just like, oh, they put people, see, I've always had the mentality I can do all things. So I was like, they putting people on television. Oh, you just sit in a selfie? So my little face, I was like, yeah, I'm going to sit in this selfie. Before you know what, they called me. So literally like a week after being in Atlanta and failing, I would say not making the Atlanta Falcons cheerleading team, I was on Tyler Perry Studios. I thought I made it then. But you know what I'm saying? I thought I made it then. I was like, I made it. Like, what y'all talking about? But as far as like talking and doing the more journalism and correspondent route, this is where it really popped off at. So I was acting. So that's what I was doing. Once I got on that Tyler Perry set, I said, oh, I'm an actress. Like, that's me. I'm like, whatever. This ain't aspiring. Whatever I'm doing,
I am.
So my little background self was saying, I'm an actress, and I'm Halle Berry, and I'm going to the stars, right? So one thing that I constantly did while doing that was constantly looking for gigs and applying. Well, I saw this gig that was like, looking for the next woman in an entertainment to have her own talk show. Immediately, I don't give an F. I didn't even have footage yet. I didn't care. Once I saw looking for a woman in the entertainment industry to have her own talk show, that was it. I said, well, this is why I came to Atlanta. So God, this must be for me. End up applying, went to the audition, got through, ended up being the Ween Academy. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Ween Academy.
That was my next question. That was my next question.
That's how, but this is all the roots. This is all the roots. End up being so ended up being the Ween Academy, went down to New York, you know, stayed in New York for about a month in the summer. I believe we was in Bed-Stuy, to be honest. And, you know, stayed there, grinded, did what we had to do, end up meeting my mentors, Lauren Lake, Felicia, Sabrina, Christy. But they're really the ones that honestly rooted all of this, because after they were like telling us it's a competition, whoever wins gets a talk show, we were going around to different companies. Like we was going around to BT. We went around to so many different Spotify, to so many different companies. And then we went to Bloomberg TV. So when we went to Bloomberg TV, they were like, okay, you guys can host your own show. I literally hosted my first show ever, a political show on gun restriction laws at Bloomberg Television. And from there, because it just came so natural, I prepared my little show. I went on that show. Honestly, I had the best feeling in the world. I said, when I get back to Atlanta, oh, it's game time. That's literally my mind, because I was like, nah, you can do this. You literally just went on a show, ran a show without any training. I was like, this is unheard of. You can do this. So when I came back to Atlanta, I bought a little mic flag. I purchased a website. At the time, my ex, unfortunately, he was my videographer. And I literally hit the streets, Edgewood, day in, day out. I did this. Even when so I started like a street show, but like people like who are like, I wouldn't call them regular, but you're law-abiding regular citizens wasn't walking around on Edgewood. Because I'm not from there, I ain't really know that like that, but I didn't care. So I was really interviewing criminals and homeless people all the time. But I don't give a flip, because you know why?
Wait, you was at that gas station? You was at that gas station?
Yes, I was running on that block. Rayborn.
She was at the gas station. Them criminals out there at that gas station.
I was on that block. And I would talk about a lot of, like, you know, social injustice issues, pop culture, whatever came to mind, whatever was hot, I would talk about on that block. But I did that so much. This is not about the hustle. This is about the grind. See, a lot of people, they know how to hustle. You know what I'm saying? They can make some money, but they don't know how to grind. They can't do it day in, day out discipline. I did not care if one person liked my video. It wasn't even about that. I genuinely love what I was doing. And I said, yo, if you want to do this and you want to do it big, you got to outwork everybody. Honestly, I would say my work ethic was way better. And this is crazy, because I had to talk to God about this. I was like, you need to get back to you when you first started work ethic, because nobody's going to outwork me at that point in time. That's how much fire I had. And I did it day in and day out. And then before you know it, you know, I met Joel, and he taught me one red carpet. That's all it took. He took me to one red carpet in Atlanta. Before there, I was doing every single red carpet, and I just started moving. And then I was like, you know what? I'm always about elevating. Okay, how do you take this to another level? So I saw American Black Film Festival hosting competition. Okay, cool. And let me put my bid in there. So that's what I kept doing. I just kept researching things and kept putting my bid in, and I just kept betting on myself. And then before you know it, my life blew up in Atlanta because my ex cheated on me with this other girl. It was just real ghetto. The story's ghetto that I ain't reciting the story, because it just got ghetto. Like, it was just like, this don't happen to me. Like, no, can't be. But it did. It did happen to me. My life it didn't fell apart. I was with my ex for a very long time, extremely long time, like since like 17 years old, 16 years old. So at that time period, that was my life. You know what I'm saying? So when that whole thing happened, I think I forgot who I was. It's almost like I forgot who I was. I went back to Jersey 1 week. That's all it took. 1 week. Didn't move out the bed, didn't eat. Like, it was bad. And I remember laying down, and it was so bad that I was even visiting like the spots we used to hang out at as children. See, he was still in Atlanta messing with the one girl, and I went back to home because I was like, yo, I just couldn't take it. And I remember sitting there saying, if you don't get your life together, everything you work for is going to fall. I was that depressed. And you know what's crazy? And this is why mental health is so serious. I was depressed that I didn't even know I was depressed. Seriously. I really thought I was in my right mind. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, the only people that knew what I was going through were the people that literally were there. To the outside world, they thought I was good. I guess I have some people have a good way of masking their problems. So the world, when I showed up, I was, hey, still smile, same energy, but I was literally dying on the inside. I couldn't eat, didn't want to get up, and I just was like, and people probably should have noticed, because I couldn't even post. So I jumped off social media. But all it didn't take that long to be complete. And this is why
but so it was your ex that really like that kind of shifted everything. That
yeah, because I never experienced being that way before. I was like, wow. So I really was like, dang God, I was like, at this point, he was like my backing, he was my footing. I thought, this is my thought, I done put a man on a pedestal when the only person who's supposed to be on that pedestal is the Lord. Period. So this is something I had to self-reflect with, right? So I'm like, dang God, like this is my everything. Like at this point, life is over. I really was telling myself life was over. Like I was like, there's no point for me to continue on. You know what I'm saying? And there were certain things that was done in relationship. I'm just not about to put my business out there. But it hurt me so bad that I was just like, just go ahead and bow out. Just bow out. And you got a degree. Just go on. And I just remember thinking, I was just sitting there and I was like, Nika, are you really going to allow somebody to basically, in so many words, tell you ain't good enough? Are you really going to allow all your hard work? I'm trying to tell y'all, whatever that talk I had with God, I got my black behind up. I really did. I drove back to Atlanta 14 hours by myself, only stopped for gas. I swear to beans. Played the same song on repeat. Shout out to Ella May. No, she don't. She don't. That song, that's really why I know that song. I played it on repeat.
I was just about to say, you better not play no slow songs driving back to Atlanta. You supposed to be playing some Kaya. You put your trust in the niggas. No, you supposed to be playing some Kaya coming down to Atlanta.
Girl, I had to play. I had to like, you know what I'm saying? I played that and I played some Tupac too, because I love Pop. But it wasn't on no hit 'em up. It was like keep your head up. Like I needed inspirational, right? So I remember getting back to Atlanta and I'm thinking like, I ain't got no money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't work at the time. I was working and doing my thing and I couldn't work because I was crying. I was depressed. So, I had quit my job. So when I came back to Atlanta, I was like, dang, how you going to do this? How you going to bounce back? That's what I was thinking. Like, how you going to get up? You ain't got none. You got stuff from scratch. He's a videographer. Now you need money to go get a videographer. How you going to do this? And I remember, this is why
I hope he didn't keep your videos hostage, Jesus. He gave you your stuff.
We want to talk about that off camera. We going to talk about that off camera. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I said the story get real ghetto. Where it's like, all right, dog. This just good at this point.
Okay. Go ahead. Go talk about it.
Yeah. So I remember, I remember just being done. And this is a key point in this is the turning point in me. I know who I was after this. There was no question. It's not even about who I was. I wasn't underestimated. It was the God I serve. And I also underestimated my God because he was not my everything. God is my everything. I didn't need his videographer work. I didn't need his resource work. God is the God of all resources. And this is the reason why people can't shake my faith, because I was able to see this head on. You know what I'm saying? So I remember just thinking like, dang, I don't know how I'm going to do this. This is over. Like it was caving in. And this is why you have to treat people right here. Because every good seed I sowed, when it got down to it, they came back to support me. My mentor was like, don't even worry about it. I'll ship your car, $1,000. It was like $1,000. I wasn't used to people moving like that for me. She was like, don't even worry about that. I'll ship your car. So she shipped my car here. And, in the beginning, I was living my car just like everybody else. Went to a Dame Dash event, was going to pitch, the Dame Dash, saw Ben Lathan from TMZ. Immediately, bam. Started pitching myself, and eventually, I got that phone call. I tell this story a lot. People know this story a lot, but the moment isn't me jumping from Atlanta to LA with a big company. The victory was in me not having anything and my back was against the wall and having to fight and pick myself up. I don't think people understand how hard that is. Like Steve Harvey said, everybody got a turn back moment where you can give up or you can move forward. And I think a lot of times people's problem is that when they don't have the financial backing, when they don't have the support like that, when somebody leaves their life, people give up. They allow their circumstances to define where they're going at in life. And that's why I said that I have so much passion into, giving back to the impoverished community and giving it back to disadvantaged communities to say, yo, you do not have to be a product of your circumstances. Because if I was a product of my circumstances, I wouldn't even be here. I just wouldn't. My circumstances was going to take me out, and it almost did mentally. You know what I'm saying? So I think I always got to give praise to God for that moment, because it was in that moment where I knew I could get past this, don't nobody got nothing. Like, no one can break me at this point. No one can tell me no. No one can reject me. I have faced the bottom already. I faced the bottom where I didn't even have my mind anymore. You know, you visiting spots where you used to be reminiscing. That's kind of like, I won't say weird and psycho, but it is. You know what I'm saying? So like, I've already faced the bottom. So at that point, I knew. I was like, yo, you made for this. Like, you made to win. So yeah, that's how I kind of got my start. And I just kept pushing. And anytime somebody tells me no, because a lot of times we don't really display how many times we're getting rejected. So sometimes people be thinking things is luck and things is given. When I tell y'all, day in and day out, I'm on.
Well, hold on. Somebody probably called her.
So, like, you just got to hold on and you got to believe in yourself. And you can't let companies, I don't care what it is, you can't let companies, people, whoever tell you just because that the possibility is little that it can't happen for you. You can be the 1%. It's a 1% for a reason. What makes you invalid to be that? All it is your mentality. That's what separates most people, their mentality. You gotta just basically, in so many words, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get my charger. Just look at me blabbing my mouth and now my phone's about to die. But yeah, like you doing all of that and not fixing your mentality to win, you ain't gonna win like that. You gotta really know that, yo, I'm gonna do this by any means necessary. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how much people tell me no, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is why I know, you know, I'm here today. And not only that, you treat people right. You sow good seeds, you harvest good seeds. A lot of people forget about that. People want to act like these fake celebrities. They want to be too big, bougie, this, that, and the third. That's why when they're falling, people don't hold them down and don't hold them up. I can honestly say I have a huge support system. When I'm going down, I know about 4 or 5 people I could call. They're going to hold me up. Now, do I call? No, because I'm there. I have a lot of pride that I'm independent. But I know I like to do things on my own. This is what it is. I like to figure it out. I don't like to be a burden on people. But I know that if it got tough and I picked up that phone, I know these people are going to hold me down. You know what I'm saying? That comes from being a good person. And a lot of times, that's the problem with people. They're just not good people. So at the end of the day, you can't get mad at your results or your karma because you have planted bad seeds. You get what I'm saying? So I just, you know, that honestly, in summation, let me wrap that up because I can go on and on about this story, but in summation, if you want to do something, whatever it is you want to do, it don't got to just be media. If you want to do something, you got to commit to it. You have to commit. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how tough it gets, I don't care, I have nothing, I'm going to do it. You have to commit. Discipline will take you places. Manifestation can't. You cannot just dream.
Yes.
You have to do.
Faith without work is dead, girl.
Period. So, and in the midst of that, you have to treat people correctly. You have to treat God's children right. Why would he bless you with a platform? Why would he give you these blessings if you're just going to be a terrible person? It doesn't make any sense.
It don't.
So yeah. So here I am, just doing what I believe that I'm supposed to be doing.
So, Shynieka, what's next? What's next in your journey?
You know, that's a very serious question because one thing about me is I like I said, I do all things. I'm here, I'm there, everywhere. So what's next for me is to continue to do what I'm doing, to be honest. Applying the pressure. You know, I do on my own talk show one day. You'll be a fool to believe I don't. That's kind of like what a lot of us want. You know what I'm saying? But it's not kind of like I want my own talk show one day. It's now. The time is now, and I have arrived. So what next is doing what I'm doing. And that's what I love and I'm most passionate about. And that's speaking and delivering messages to the world. You get what I'm saying? The talk show is now. So yeah, I might not be on the biggest network and it might not be the Shyneika Taylor show, but anytime y'all come and look at me, I don't give a darn if it's YouTube. I don't care if it's Instagram. I don't care if it's on an Insta story, you know, Facebook, whatever it is. That is my show. This is my showtime. And whatever, you know, and hopefully, you know, I've been a positive influence on whoever has, you know, come along on this journey because, you know, at the end of the day, I never want to forget my purpose and my mission. But what's next is me doing what I'm doing. And I'm always going to try to take it to another level. I have the personality of doing the most. Okay. So, you know, bare minimum is not, it's not acceptable over here. I don't like doing bare minimum. It makes me itch. I'm allergic to bare minimum. I don't want no man doing bare minimum to me. So I try not to give myself bare minimum. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so what's next is doing what I feel like I'm destined to do. And I'm going to continue to hit the paint. You know, what the Meek Mill say, I'm the type to count a meal and grind like I'm broke. I'm like that. I'm constantly shooting in the gym. I don't watch the scoreboard. I just shoot. And I just ball out. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a never-ending story for me. Until the good Lord calls me home, then I'll bow out. So, yeah.
And and I have to end it with, and that's one period, okay? And that is our previous. Shynieka, when I tell you, and I'll save this conversation for another day. First of all, Jelisa, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's my girl. Oh, that's another thing. You see what? Let me tell you something. Because I was very exhausted. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, dang it. I was like, yo, I've been doing a lot of running around, and you know, I've been doing a lot. It's just been a lot from this last week and to this week. But I'll say this. I specifically, when I saw it, I was like, oh, this Jelisa, oh, I'm doing it. Because Jelisa's been a supporter since day one. When before the lights and before all the hype and everybody screaming shy, Jelisa's been that person. When I started mad talking in the streets, she has held me down. So I will always give it back to her. And that's what I'm talking about as sowing good seeds. She's been good to me, so why not be good to her? You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing. So she don't even gotta thank me. Tell her I said thank you. Thank you for believing in me. You know, from the beginning. Thank you for seeing in me what I saw in myself. That's all. I'm just giving it back to her.
Yes,
that's all.
That is that. Jelisa, if you are watching, we love you.
Absolutely.
And I cannot thank you enough. I know somebody else was supposed to do this interview, and I'm gonna just say this before. I'm gonna take 2 questions. I seen somebody asking some questions. Somebody else was supposed to do this interview, and they asked me like, hey, you know, are you available? And at first I was like, nah, I had something to do, but I looked at your page and I'm just like, you know, I like to look at who I'm looking at. And I said, you know, nah, like, let me take this one. Oh, you don't have to. I said, no. Let me take this one. And everything you've been sitting here saying, I've been trying so hard not to tear up, in a sense of like, I'm trying to keep it cute and professional, but your story.
It's okay, girl. You gotta cry. Go ahead and cry, girl. Let it out.
After people see me, when I tell you I'm trying so hard not to tear up, in the sense of everything you said. And the funny thing is, I told my friend, with me doing media now, you know, getting my name out there, Jelisa, thank you so much for holding me down as well. I was saying, like, I didn't even know what passion was growing up. Like, I didn't even know what it was to chase your dream. Like, I remember when I graduated college, I went to school for communication, and I got offered a $7.25 job in media, but I got offered at that time a management job for $17 an hour.
Right.
I didn't know what passion was. You know, if I didn't know what that was, what you think I picked? You know, I'm out of college making $17 an hour. But if I knew what I knew now, I would have picked that $7.25 job. And you know, you can't take back the hands of time. But what I know now is this, like I said, this at this moment, me talking to you, I know everything would be all right in my career. You know, I'm trying.
That's right. No, it's okay. Everything's gonna be all right, and you just stay focused. And don't worry about the no's. You don't worry. That's what people get caught up in. You have to tell yourself yes before the world tries to tell you no. You got to know who you are before you step out into this world. And when you know who you are, can't nobody swipe you off under your feet. They just can't. You can't do that, because my yes is more powerful than anybody's no. You know, it just is what it is. And when you walk in that type of light, I'm trying to tell you, it's almost like the things just start opening up, and you like, dang, how did I get here? Because honestly, I told you, like, when I look back on my timeline, when I was self-reflecting, I said, Nika, it's only been 5 years. You ain't even reached your 10-year mark. It's only been 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But when you know who you are, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy how the things just open up. So, you know, my thinking to you is just like, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've already arrived. You're not aspiring. Take off the credentials. Validate yourself. You're doing what you set out to do. You're a winner. You succeeded. You got to walk in that type of power. I've already made it. A lot of times people are going to call that cocky and arrogant. Only people going to call that cocky and arrogant are the people that don't know who they are. It's intimidating. when you don't know who you are, when you around somebody who knows who they are, that can be intimidating because you're just like, oh, that type of energy is way too much. But other people who know who they are, it's not intimidating. It's inspiring. Winning is an energy. I can feel when winners are all around me. I can feel that. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, cool. You made a mistake. We all gonna make mistakes. Okay, but the like Denzel said, you fall down 7 times, get back up 8. That just is what it is. So just keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. Let me tell y'all, I've been broke. One thing I'm gonna do, I keep it real. There's no need for me to front because like I told you, I know who I am, so I'm okay with my struggles. You feel me? I have been broke. When I say broke, I mean broke. I have been broke and doing what everybody would have thought was the dream. I've been broke while doing it because that's how much I've had to put out to put back into myself. So, you know, I have been down. I have been at the lowest of lows when I'm telling you I slept in my car. And I didn't face, you know how like some people be like, oh, I've been homeless before, but it was jumping couch to couch. No, my homeless was in the car, in the vehicle. And honestly, if my parents knew I was doing that, I probably would never made this far because they'd have been like, all right, dog, you just risking it all.
And
when you have a dream
at home.
When you have a dream, I knew that. When I had a dream, I knew I had to risk it all. You get what I'm saying? So I've done that, and you know, sleeping in a car for months at a time, and you know, rolling up to LA Fitness to get the shower, then rolling to the stores so that I'm flipping in and out of clothes. I've done that and did that. And for me, it's a lot because you know your presentation is everything. So I'm like, how the heck can I do all of this and still keep up the presentation? But you know what? I was committed and I was disciplined, and thank God I'm not in that space anymore. But that's just to tell everybody in the world, hey, yo, it's going to get real. That's why I don't allow people to say that I'm lucky. Ain't no luck. I ain't come from the privileged side. I wasn't groomed to do it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't groomed to be the next. I kind of was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I just started punching and just trying to kick down doors. That kind of has always been my approach. But there's no luck to this. You know, there was a lot of tears, a lot of lonely nights. I've been lonely. You get what I'm saying? It was just me and God, literally. And I don't want to even tear up going through this, but I know how it was when I was in those time periods. But I said I was committed. I was like, you know what, Nika? It doesn't matter if you don't got what everybody else don't got, because God still gave you a gift. So if you want to do it, just do it. And I ignored it. In and off of red carpets. Off of red carpets, homeless still. That was my reality. You get what I'm saying? And I did that for an extremely long time. It wasn't like, no, just a week. I did it for 7 months straight. 7 months is almost a year. And that's why I tell people, can't nothing break me at this point. Because I've reached a low before. And I kept going. So if I can keep going when I ain't got nothing, you best believe I'm going to keep going when I got something.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So like, that's just to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, I'm always going to tell anybody this. Your mind must arrive at the destination before your life does. You know what I'm saying? So although to everybody else, I was broke, baby, I was rich in spirit. And no one ever knew. When I walked the rooms, they thought I had it all because it came from here. That's it. So I don't really have any, like, it's funny, I don't got blueprints for people because I know what God did for me, and I know it was just my heart and my passion. I don't got a blueprint. You just got to be you, and you got to be okay with being you. That's it. Be okay with who God made you, and he will make room for you every time.
Girl.
That's it.
On this thing, she told me not to. I'm over here like,
I cry every time, and that's why I don't like getting deep, because I'm a crybaby, and this is why I don't like getting deep. I cry every time.
And like Shyneeka, thank you. Like I said, I don't even know we have time to take. Do we have time to take a couple questions? Like when I tell you, thank you so much for being transparent, being you. Thank you for letting me know, let the viewers know out there that it is okay. Life is a journey. It's a beautiful thing. But when you bet on yourself, and like I said, I could sit here and say, oh, I didn't did this. My mom didn't teach me this. Or I could sit here and come up with everything. But once you have you, once you bet on yourself, once you know, hey, you could be 40 years old. If that's your calling, go ahead and do it and go ahead and try. So that's why I told you earlier, like doing this interview and speaking to you, I know I'm going to be okay.
Amen.
Right. And
you're going to be all right. And you're going to win.
I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And like you said, take out that word, up and coming, aspiring.
Aspiring.
Take
No.
all of that.
Once you're doing, you were there. Showtime. What they say, the show don't stop for nobody. It's showtime. Once you make a declaration, this is what I'm going to do, and you do it, showtime. Don't turn back.
Don't turn back. I'm going to take a couple questions. I seen somebody earlier stated, how did you feel when you were on, I think E? Somebody said E. Entertainment. Yep, that's what I had to scroll up the comments to see it. But yeah, that's what somebody asked. How was that moment for you when you got on E?
That moment is a moment that I'm not gonna be able to explain that feeling to nobody when you just know, like it's almost like it's the confirmation, like God, like dang, this is what happens when you bet on yourself. So immediately when they called, I went, my mind shifted back to that microphone in that street on Edgewood, interviewing a homeless person immediately. And I was just like, God darn. Like if people really knew how your beginning stages were and where you started, it was just like, wow, that's what happens when you have confidence in yourself. So that the feeling was indescribable. I can't even describe that feeling. I just knew that the God I serve is a powerful God. I knew it. I just, and this ain't no dreaming anymore. And that's what I told somebody. I was like, because everybody knows me for Meek, Dream Chasers, like that anthem. People know me from like being hype and rapping that song. But I told them, I was like, I'm over that. I graduated. I'm not chasing no dream no more. This is now. It's showtime is now. So I can't, you know, I'm always gonna love that song and play as a part of me, but that's no more. That's not my story anymore. I'm not chasing no dream. Like this is reality. So the feeling was just so overwhelming. Of course, I cried like a baby. I took the time, of course, to give God all praises and all glory because he did exactly what he said he was going to do, and that was make room for me. And you know, now I'm on to the next. Now I've already in my mind, I got the Emmy Award speech. And I've already saw myself crying with the speech already. That's why I'm like, I don't know. The feeling's indescribable, but I know one thing, I ain't turning around. I know that. So bet to see me at the top because that's where I'm going. So I can tell y'all.
To take more questions. Another question is, I've heard of Ween Academy. Do you recommend anybody in media going to some type of school? And also, how would you recommend Ween Academy as well?
Okay, well, Ween Academy, unfortunately, is no longer.
Okay.
So yeah, that's unfortunate. That sisterhood was powerful. I still got my sisters to this day. A lot of them are big supporters of mine, and I'm so thankful for them. You know, don't forget to thank the people that really do show you love, because it's important. It's encouraging, and when I'm low, it helps push me through. So they're a part of my journey, my sisters. So I thank God for them, especially my mentor, Lauren Lake. She's everything to me. You get what I'm saying? Like that woman betted on me but that was the first like professional to bet on me was Lauren Lake. You get what I'm saying? She said too, she confirmed what I was already feeling, that I could do this. You know what I mean? So I thank God for her. Like pivotal moments in my career. Do I believe that people should go to schooling? I would say, is it necessary? No, because we're fate and destiny. If you're meant to be there, you'll be there. However, can it help you? Yes. Your network will always be able to help you. So having a big support system has a lot to deal with because I've done a lot of things in my past. I lived in 3 different areas. You know, I lived on the East Coast, lived in the South, and now I'm on the West Coast. That's 3 different support systems. I did go to college. A lot of my colleagues are still supporting me to this day. You know what I mean? Here in LA. So if I didn't have those resources and those connections, you know, I would put myself at a more disadvantage. So going to school, you can get an advantage. Do I say go broke, put yourself in debt to do it? I mean, I wouldn't recommend, it doesn't have to be done, but it definitely can help you. It depends on what type of person you are. Now, if you're going to go to school, you're just going to be an introvert and shut your mouth and not be involved, then I would just say don't even waste your time, baby. Just don't. Right, because education is free at this point. You don't even got to waste your time. But if you're going to be active and you're actively shaking hands and kissing babies and doing things, you never know how one area of life where you're training in can help you for me. So,
Or someone asks, what was one of the toughest days that you had working red carpet? Oftentimes, people think it's all glitz and glam.
To be honest, okay, one time I had to do like this red carpet in New York, and I'm the type of person where like I'm a hustler. Like I'll do the most. So I was in Atlanta. I was living in Atlanta. Had to do the red carpet in New York. Didn't have the money for a flight. Okay, that means drive. And I had less than 24 hours to do that. Like, so when I got the call, it was like, yo, this joint is going down. It's the Comedy Awards. It's going down in New York. Like, can you be here like tomorrow, 6 p.m.? It was like the day before. And I was like, this is important. I was looking at the list. I was like, dang, DL Hughley was on the list. It was a lot of ghosts on that list. Comedian Lil Rel was on that list. I was just a fake. Rest in peace. Paul Mooney was on that list. I was like, you gotta go. So I literally drove to New York to do a red carpet just to drive back. Like, that's the stuff I'm talking about. And then because I was the only, I would say I was like only one of the outlets that wasn't a major outlet there. I was just my own outlet at the time was Mad Talking. I was like, now you got to edit your stuff and get it out before then because you're competing against them. So it was a hard because I was like, but I got to get back on the road. So I was like, you can't sit in your car. And you know, me and my ex at the time, we worked and edited that video in that car. You know what I'm saying? That was a hard red carpet for me because I had so many deadlines, but we got it done. You know what I mean? And I can tell you at that point in time, I was just like, that's what I was talking about. When I set my mind to something, it's hard to kind of outwork me because I don't give a darn. I was like, okay, we can make it that time period. Do we got money for gas? Let's hit the road. Period. You cannot. Your most what's the quote? Oh, there's a quote. It's the most expensive thing you can miss out on life is opportunity. Dang, I F that quote all the way up. That's not how it goes. I'm trying to tell y'all it's a more click to it. But yeah, like you cannot, like it's too expensive to be missing out on opportunity because your opportunity can change your life. Because to be honest, you know, that what I did that interviews, a lot of my interviews got reposted by the celebrities. It gave me way more exposure and people were like hitting me up left and right. And people were just trying to represent me. But that was all because I was willing to go the distance. And I think a lot of times people say they want things, but I don't know if they really want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to really want it. Like, by any means necessary, I'm going to get it done. And that mentality is golden. And I need to tap back into it. Because I'm going to be 100. I'm not saying I'm just as ambitious, but the fire I had when I first came in, like, when your back is against the wall, the way you fight is different than when you fight and then you feel like, okay, I got a couple rounds in. You get what I'm saying? When your back is really against the wall, you like, dang, I'm down. That fight is different. So, like, I wish to adopt that mentality, and I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, y'all. Another round of applause for Shynieka. You know,
it's the virtual for me. Virtual round of applause.
You know, the hearts, keep the hearts shooting. Give me some fire signs. Give me whatever you need right now. Shynieka, thank you so much for gracing. This has been the opportunity for me doing this. And I know I said this 100 times, but like I said, Jelisa, thank you so much. We gave you your flowers up in here. I don't know if you heard it, but thank you so much, Jelisa, for setting this up. We love you. Media Girls, Shynieka, we are here every step of the way. Definitely
appreciate that.
Everything you are. Now, I go to LA sometimes. I've been going to LA lately, honey. So, you know, we can't have this interview.
Yeah, you know, hit me up. Anytime, hit me up anytime. Shout out to Los Angeles. You know, I'm not gonna lie. The LA during the pandemic, yo, you had to come to LA before the pandemic to know what the real LA was. This just ain't what LA is capable of. But you always can come here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, before pandemic LA, girl, it was a thing. I was like, yeah, I ain't going nowhere. This is what I'm supposed to be.
LA right now make you see, like, when I got there, I'm like, because I went twice during the pandemic and like 3 times before, and I'm like, this is why people coming to Atlanta, because we just opened LA. I'm like,
not down.
It's locked
down, but it's for a good reason, because to be honest, I do not want to catch that. I'm trying to tell y'all, I was under. I said, yo, I don't wish this on my worst enemy. I was like, I feel like I'm dying without dying. It was crazy.
Yes. Like I y'all, if y'all caught that COVID bug, you should already know what it is, but we ain't doing that all 2022 because we got money to make, and you gonna do it. Shynieka, thank you so much. And
no problem. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And love you. Thank you so much, babe.
Love you so much. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.